Are you still making this mistake of trying to add your dependents to your visa application, or maybe to your new sponsorship, or to your new visa, or whatever? If you're currently in the UK and you're thinking of adding your dependents to your new visa, please do stay tuned and watch this video right to the end. Do like and share with your friends and loved ones. I'm sure someone may find it helpful. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless you. And if you're new to this channel, I share content on UK immigration updates, live in the UK, scholarships in the UK, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK, like everything you can think about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested in such content, or you know anyone who may be interested, please do like and share this video with them. And also do subscribe if you're yet to do that. Guys, without wasting so much of your time, let's quickly dive right into today's video. Now, we've got a lot of people that are applying for UK visas now. Some are switching from one category of visa to the other. Some are currently planning to apply for their visa. Some have applied and they're still waiting for decision with their dependent. Some already have kids that are born in the UK and still add those kids to their visa. So let me take this question. Someone who was on course and later got another employer to switch her visa, can the dependent make another application after her switch was successful? Guys, this I have answered on this channel so many times, and some people still keep making this mistake. When you're on a skilled worker visa, or maybe you're on a care worker visa, or any category of visa apart from the study visa, and you're planning to apply for a new visa, maybe you've lost your sponsorship or you've gotten another job with another company and you're applying for a visa. Guys, I had said in my previous video, for instance, if your dependent visa is valid for 3 years and you came to the UK and you spent only 1 year on your own visa and you got another sponsorship due to revocation of license or whatever would have led to you applying for a new visa. Now, if you have stayed 1 year on the actual visa that brought you to the UK and you have your dependent who already has a 3 years, you previously had 3 years, right? And you're applying for a new company, guys, you don't really need to apply for a visa with your dependent. Yes, you don't need to apply for a visa with your dependent because your dependent visa is valid for that number of years. Except you're on a different category of visa, maybe the study visa, and the study visa is coming to an end. Of course, the study visa of you and your dependent will come to an end at the same time, not before you or after you. So if you're applying for a new visa at that time, then you will have to add your dependent. So what happens when you have applied for a new visa without your dependent? The dependent visa is still valid for the 3 years that is given to your dependent. And because you are the main applicant and you have switched to get a 5-year sponsorship or maybe a 4-year sponsorship, what your dependent should do is before the end of that 3 years, your dependent can now apply to depend on you on the new visa you have applied for. That would save you money because quite a good number of people have come to me, oh, Fajira, I applied for a new visa for me and my dependent. Your dependent doesn't really have to switch at the point you're switching, especially if you're on a care visa, a skilled worker visa, apart from a study visa. Now, the study visa, if you came as a student and you finally completed your studies, I think you still have 3 months or thereabout on your visa and you get a sponsorship. It is advisable that at the point you're switching to the new visa category, you should apply with your dependent because your dependent as well has got that 3 months. There's no point just waiting till 3 months before applying for your dependent. You can as well apply with your dependent. But for someone who is on the skilled worker visa, you have paid for a visa for 300 and something pounds. And because you got a new sponsorship, you want your dependent to follow you and apply. Guys, you have to save that money because you know what is happening in the UK. The cost of living is very expensive. So if you can save that money, especially in this season, you can use it for a lot of things. I'll take you now to the Gov website so that you can see more about what I'm talking about. Then we can now talk about children who are born in the UK. Now, just as you can see on my screen, apply from inside the UK. Extend or switch their visas. If you extend or switch your visa, your partner or child's current visa will still be valid until its original end date. Your partner or child need to apply to extend or switch their visa either at the same time as you. That is you just dashing the Home Office money if their visa is still valid for another 2 years. Now, at any time before their current visa expires, that was just exactly what I said. At any time before their current visa expires, maybe a month to 2 weeks to 1 week to, provided the visa has not expired, they cannot switch and depend on you. Remember, that has saved you the number of years you would have paid for. Now, this includes children who have turned 18 during your stay. Your partner or children cannot apply to switch to your skilled worker visa as your dependent if they are currently in the UK on a visit visa, like we know, on a short-term student visa, on a parent of a child student visa, on a seasonal worker visa, on a domestic in a private household visa. Of course, this is not what we are talking about, but they cannot switch from this category of visa to depend on you. Now, let's go children born in the UK. Like we know, I'd always emphasize on this. If you have children that are born in the UK, you don't really have to apply for a visa for them. You just have to concentrate on yourself, because when you're applying for a visa for a child who is born in the UK, you're putting that child on a visa and you may end up paying the IHS fee for that child. Why don't you just save that money and just concentrate on yourself and those other children you brought to the UK? Now, what happens when you give birth to your child in the UK? They don't need a visa. They don't even need to pay for IHS, but because you're applying for your visa, a lot are still making this mistake. In fact, I got one of my viewers, I know he's watching this video, he had similar challenges recently. The child was born recently and he was switching his visa. He added the child to the visa. There is no point, there is no need, provided you know you're not leaving the UK before their indefinite leave to remain and their British citizenship. In fact, that child you gave birth in the UK will get their British passport before you. Yes, they will get their British passport before you, because if you now get a sponsorship for 5 years, now you've gotten your sponsorship, you've got your indefinite leave to remain. Once you get your indefinite leave to remain, you're applying for naturalization for that child. Once they get their naturalization certificates, you just apply for their British passport. So they will get passport before you. So there's no point you trying to add a child who is born in the UK to your visa application, especially when you know you're not taking that child out of the shores of UK. Now, I'll share this. It's also stated on the government website, as you can see. Children born in the UK. If you have a child while you are in the UK, they do not automatically become a British citizen, like we know. Now, you must apply for your child's dependent visa if you want to travel in and out of the United Kingdom with them. If you want to travel in and out of the United Kingdom with that child whom you have given birth to in the UK, then it is mandatory that you apply for a dependent visa for them. But a lot of families that have done this, I've been in touch with them, they don't even have any plans of traveling anytime soon. So why putting that child on a visa? Just allow that child to enjoy that which God has brought them to the world to enjoy, than going to put a child that is not even traveling on a visa. Now, as you can see, the form you will fill in depends on whether your child is inside or outside the UK. Your child must either apply online as your child inside the UK, apply online as your child outside the UK. You will need to provide a full UK birth certificate for each child, showing the names of both parents. You must apply for their dependent visa before they turn 18 if they want to stay in the UK. So please, for everyone who is asking me about adding your child on your skilled worker visa, it is not wise. Even if you're a student and you gave birth to your child in the UK and you finally get a skilled worker visa, please concentrate on you and the children you brought to the UK, or maybe you and your wife, and leave the children you gave birth in the UK, provided you don't intend to take them out of the country, just as you can see on the government website. So I hope this answers your questions. For those who are currently in the UK that have been asking me about, oh, can I add my dependent now? I'm on a care worker visa. I came into the UK before the new rules and so on. If you had a care worker visa before the new rules, you're allowed to add your dependent to your visa at any time. There is no restriction, provided that dependent is under 18. But if you were in the UK, for instance, you came as a student, completed your studies, and you finally get a care worker sponsorship, guys, on that note, you're not allowed to add your dependent. For those who are in the UK that have been making this mistake, if you don't have any plan to travel outside the UK with your child, please just leave that child alone. Concentrate on your own self and get your indefinite leave to remain. Then you apply for the child's naturalization. Thereafter, their passports. But you, after your indefinite leave to remain, you still have to wait for a year. After the 1 year, you apply for your naturalization. After that, then you can now apply for your passport. So leave that child alone. So for those who are switching employers, whether care worker, skilled worker, any category of visa that is not a study visa, your dependent can carry on to stay until the end or nearer to the end of the current visa they came with, and they can now depend on you. So you don't really have to keep spending money for this visa application. Like we all know that at any point you're applying for a new visa, you're paying. And this money you're paying is not refundable. So I'm not saying they're not going to give your dependent the visa, but if your dependent visa is still valid, what are you applying for? Nothing. Just apply for yourself. They're nearer to the end of their own visa. They can now depend on you. And few people have asked me this question: what about the dependent becoming the main applicant? Yes, if you are becoming the main applicant, then you have to apply to be the main applicant. The previous main applicant now depends on you. On that note, you will have to do your application together because you are now the main applicant. And bear in mind that once you become the main applicant as a dependent, you've lost the number of years you have stayed as a dependent because you're starting a new route. And whoever was the main applicant have lost the number of years they have stayed as a main applicant because they are starting a new route. They now begin to count. So in terms of making your decision, in terms of thinking of who is going to be the main applicant, who is going to be the dependent, it's something both of you will have to sit down and decide. Do you want a longer route, so your indefinite leave to remain? Then keep switching. Will you be the dependent this year, the other person be the main applicant next year? But if you don't want any of those drama and you just want to come to the UK, get your indefinite leave to remain in 5 years, then stick to the rules. The main applicant carries on to be the main applicant. The dependent carries on to be the dependent of a skilled worker visa or on a care worker visa. And once you complete your 5 years successfully and you still meet the requirement, because they can still refuse your indefinite leave to remain. I will film a video on that. A few people have been refused recently because of the history they had in their last 2 years before indefinite leave to remain. I will film a video on that in the future. But if you're looking at a quick way to settle in the UK, just leave your dependents alone to be where they are. And you too, as a main applicant, be where you are until you're able to sort yourself. And once you sort yourself, those children born here, they are sorted. Your dependent as well is sorted. Don't be carrying them, switching here and there. So guys, please like and share this video with your friends and loved ones. I'm sure it's going to help 1 or 2 people out there. And if you're yet to subscribe to join our beautiful family, please do hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, so each time I upload a new video, you'll be the first to see that video. Until I see you in my next video, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.